welcome back. Today our MCM is the transformational, motivational, inspiring and not so bad on the eyes, Simalumba Nawa. Simalumba is a Namibian orator who is currently in the process of reintroducing himself and some of what he's offering to society at large. Sima, good evening. We're excited to share the platform with you this evening.
Thank you so much, Nina. Good evening to you and the viewers. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Sima, you have an absolutely amazing backstory of how you were, introduced to public speaking. Please share that with us to start with.
Well, my story journey in public speaking is one I would like to describe as serendipity. So it's one of those events that happened that I never expected. Immediately after losing my sight in the year 2020, in December, I was then, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. Now, I couldn't continue my academic pursuits because computer science is a very technical field and it requires sight. So my pastor then directed me towards an organization called Toastmasters. And what they do is they facilitate public speaking, communication skills training, leadership, and so on and so forth. So I joined a club called the Professionals Club, and that's where I learned the ins and outs of public speaking and communication skills and presentation mastery. And this is how my journey began, and how I am basically having this conversation with you today is because of that, of how that started.
What are some of the major adjustments, Sima, that stem from going to non-sighted, from having been, sighted for practically all your life?
Well, I think two things. Well, the first would be the immediate cutting of my freedom of movement. I was someone who was very active, very out and about, always in the gym, taking jogs and so on and so forth. So that was another major adjustment in terms of really planning my movement, having to really meticulously, structure where I'm going, when I'm going, what time I'm going to that place. And the other would just be adjusting to my other senses becoming a lot stronger. So learning how to hone them and learning how to be comfortable in the intense hearing or sense of smell or sense of touch. So those are the few things.
So you get this encouragement to pursue public speaking. How has that pursuit, changed your life?
When I say public speaking saved my life, I literally mean that with every fabric of my being. It has given me so much hope, so much purpose, so much meaning as well. Being able to share my story with my community, society, and the world at large, and just see how it's able to impact, inspire, and really help me, impact my society and my community positively through sharing my story, through encouraging the youth, encouraging the people around me. It doesn't, life is 90% what happens, 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond, right? So being able to have those conversations and just, going through my journey and helping those who might be struggling, find some solace and some hope and some, some belief in the struggles that they're going through.
Talk to us about the mastery classes that you've launched and what it is that you hope to achieve by sharing these skills.
Yes, well, my business is called Speaking to Communicate, and the whole entire premise for this is I literally help people master their talk, and I believe that communication, effective communication, is one of the best gifts that we can give to each other. And being able to communicate yourself and express yourself in such a way that you are able to, build rapport, have, create meaningful relationships, have meaningful dialogue and conversations, and just being able to equip people with the tools that they need to navigate life, different conversations, how to to process and how to communicate with different kinds of people as well. So it's really a tool that I believe is a gateway skill, and that it flows over into all other areas of your life. So that is the gift I'm hoping to give to people who sign up for the Speaking to Communicate classes.
Sima, do you believe that there is value in us as people owning our own stories and driving the narrative to our own stories?
Absolutely. The African proverb comes to mind, the one that says that only once the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter. So it's very important that we as lions, the lions of Namibia, the lions of our society, our friend groups, the lions of Africa, learn how to write our own stories so that we are pushing the narrative, we're in control of what is being said about our lived experiences, and also history has shown that our stories as Africans predominantly start with the word secondly. So everything before that has led to where we are, economically in the world has been led by the narrative secondly. So we need to take back our power and start our own stories with the word firstly, and let them hear our stories from the horse's mouth.
Sima, it was lovely speaking to you this evening. All the best with your future endeavors. Thank you for joining us on the Daily Roundup.
Thank you so much, Nina. Good night.
And that wraps up our Monday edition of the Daily Roundup with Nina. From myself and the crew, thank you so much for watching. Good night.